And many women will lay down with black men, and then the black men will get up and tell her, well, I used to be with a white woman, or I used to be with a Latino woman, or they start looking at that image that doesn't reflect them while that black woman is with them. So she senses it and she sees it, or she sees him watching a certain image on television. He starts to respond to that stimulus based on something that does not look like her. So instead of her leaving the situation many times, or even if she leaves, she's scarred because he didn't approve of her, because she has emotional attachment to that man with that nigga dick mentality. She's accepted it and internalized his disapproval and his hatred of her image. So she creates a inferiority complex within herself, and the only justification she has for it is what she looks like in the mirror based on her man's disapproval of that image. So when we lay with men that have that idea about us, we are creating two folds of bondage and two folds of destruction within the womb of the woman, the melanated woman, because she already has a very thick vibration of self-hatred energy around herself, and it reverberates through the core of us, which is in our cells and in our womb. So that's what us women need to realize, that everything we feel, everything we think, even the negative and hatred, self-hatred, low self-esteem stuff, reverberates through our uterus, our cervix, vibrates through the cervix and into the vaginal canal. So when you have a man, and a lot of us don't pick up on this because we're not focusing on their thoughts and reading their thoughts and reading their energy, and we haven't done a reading on them on no kind of level or consulted anybody about them on a spiritual level. So you're not sensing, although you know something's not quite right, a lot of women don't connect it to the disapproval of our image, our goddess image, because it has too much melanin in it, or, you know, it's considered too black, doesn't meet the status quo symbol of beauty. So you're not sensing this. This man has this idea about you in his cerebral cortex. Then that energy in his cerebral cortex moves through his eyes, because you have to realize the optic nerve, you have eyeballs, right behind your eyeballs, there are optic nerves connected to the back of your eyeballs. Well, that goes directly into your brain. So everything that a man sees in his brain, or everything you look and you see in a man's eyes, you can actually read a man's mind by looking at his eyes. You can see what turns him on, what turns him off, when he's in hot displeasure by looking at his eyes, because it is direct correlation between what he's thinking, what is in his brain and what is not in his brain. Just like I've looked at some people and seen nothing but a cold chill looking in their eyes. So a man can say one thing with his mouth, but his eyes will never lie, because his eyes are connected to his brain, and his brain is connected to his central nervous system. His central nervous system is connected to his dick and his nuts, and that is all connected to soul energy and soul mind memory. So when you are tapping into somebody's eyes and you are locking in and you're opening yourself up, and you're expounding past the third-dimensional image of what you're seeing, because many people are blinded and infatuated by what they see on the outside. So they are so hooked on that they can't see past what is in the soul realm that is behind that man's eyes, because that will never, ever lie to you. Even if a man is telling you a lie out of his mouth, his eyes won't be able to lie to you, because they are directly connected to the soul mind. So all of that is wide open and it's being activated when he's getting ready to penetrate you with a nigga dick. So when he's laying down with you, and as I had said earlier, when you're feeling these things, and inferiority and low self-esteem and fear, that's reverberating through your uterus, sitting on the top of your cervix, moving through the cervix, outside of it, into your vaginal canal, and in the opening of your pussy. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you have sexual intercourse with somebody before the head of their penis actually kisses the opening of your vagina. Because minds, as it says in the Bible, as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you copulated and you laid with somebody in your mind, you done already laid with them for real and committed fornication because they understood and overstood that everything begins on the astral plane. Have mercy. Everything happens in your imagination, your imagination matrix. That's where everything begins and ends. Just like warriors know, to defeat your opponent, you must beat their ass in your damn mind before you physically engage them. That's why video games are so important for the military, because they fight their opponents through military training in video, in virtual reality. See, that's what I'm talking about. You are on a virtual plane fucking a nigga dick and don't know what the fuck you doing. That's why we get fucked up and have all kind of damn mental, emotional problems, hysterectomy, fibroid tumor, HIV, coming in and out of relationships, dealing with niggas that can't keep their dick to themselves because you have done a sex ritual, sex magic, fucking around with rituals, and you don't even know the damn spell. I don't think you heard me. When you are dealing with men and you getting ready to fuck somebody, and you dealing with a nigga dick, when they got a nigga mentality and they hate themselves and they hate you because you don't meet their standards, you don't meet their beauty ideal, you're not the one they want to trust and get a whole dick to because they don't like themselves. You engage with them and you first start fucking with them on a virtual reality level, because that's where everything begins and ends and pauses and rewinds and fast forwards at, in the virtual realms of your cerebral cortex that I said you can identify when you look through a man's eyeball, because he can't fight that one. So when you're laying with him on this level, and he done decided to lay with you because he done already planned the shit out and fucked you all kind of ways in his mind. His cell done been programmed to do what he gonna do to you, and you're not aware of it. And you're not aware that your uterus is vibrating self-hatred and low self-esteem. When he penetrates you, piercing your eyes, because many men see through women's souls by looking in their eyes. And the women don't know the man done read you up and down, side to side, backwards and forward because he has a nigger dick. And another thing you need to realize, somebody that has a nigger dick, he's in the third dimensional plane. When you get in the third dimensional plane and a man is in a nigger state of mind and he hates himself, and he hates the ghetto, and he hates everything that reminds him of himself and his culture, and he wants to move away from the ghetto, and he does not want to marry a woman that look like him. He don't want to have no children by a woman that look like him. He wants to whitewash everything. He wants to have a baby, so when he look at that baby, he smile at that baby, and the baby don't look shit like him, and that's why he love it so much, because it don't look nothing like him. When you're dealing with that kind of man, basically he is in the gutter 24/7 because he has accepted the reality of the matrix that has told him to turn his back on himself, that has flipped him inside out, that has got him being a slave to a system that is not his own. So he cannot love himself. The only way that he can prosper and be successful is that he must love everything and anything that does not look like him and does not remind him of the man he sees in the mirror. And any remembrance or any glimpse of the man in the mirror, the more he looks at that man in the mirror that looks like Kunta Kinte, the more he wants to disassociate, the more he pushes down the need to get to know that man from a positive level, to know his history, to know how great he is, to know where he came from, to know that he ruled the world and he is the oldest one here and he was here before anybody. He has betrayed himself and sold his knowledge. He has flipped the knowledge on himself. He has made a pact to the lower gods